Hey everybody, it is that time of year when the temperature is starting to change, it's getting really wonky outside, and everybody is starting to come in and experiencing more issues with sinus congestion and headaches. Does that sound like you? Are you one of these people who's affected by the changes in temperature and the changes in season? Well, I'm going to show you a quick trick that you're going to be able to do for yourself during the day that is actually going to help you keep your head clear, maybe relieve some of that sinus congestion, and perhaps even relieve a headache. Now, one of the most important things I want you to recognize is that when you start to get sinus congestion, the mucus is getting stuck up in your head. You've got sinuses here, you've got sinuses here, up in through the top of your head. So I'm going to show you how to release those very simply and get them out of your body. It actually is kind of relaxing when you do this. Now, ultimately, when you get home at night, if you have a neti pot where you put saline solution into a little pot or a bottle, and you can pour that in through the nose and just do a nasal wash of some sort, that's actually going to be really helpful. However, during the day when you're at work or you're out and about and you don't have access to a neti pot, you need something else to help you because, again, that congestion, the constant clearing your throat, the constant drainage, we need some relief from that. So the first thing is you're going to need these. So we need your thumbs, and super simple, just take your thumbs. Now if you have long nails, it's going to be a little tough, but take your thumbs and you're going to put them right here, right where the brow meets your nose. And so you're just going to press those right up in there, close your eyes, and when you start to apply pressure here, you're going to start to feel, sometimes it can be a little tender, but automatically you'll start to feel that tension open up there. And you're just going to hold that for about 5 to 10 seconds. And then the next place you're going to come is right here, right where the nose meets the cheekbone. So you're going to press right there. Same thing, you're going to hold that for 5 to 10 seconds. And this one's really tender for a lot of people. Now, I can tell you right now when I'm doing this, my right sinus is a lot more tender than my left. And you'll notice that too. One side will be a little more tender than the other, and that's okay. You don't have to press too hard, but you'll start to feel that release. And then the next thing I want you to do is you're going to take your fingers and you're going to press them right down through the center of your head. There's a big old sinus that comes down through there. And so we just want to press that. We want to get all the way to the crown of the head. Now, most of the time when you hit the crown of your head, that will also be tender. All right, so we're going to just keep pressing. And this is just more of pulsating. I can already feel tension releasing in my scalp, in my head. This is excellent for also when you're getting that sinus headache. And then the next thing we're going to do is come to the temples. We're going to start, so we're clearing out the sinuses. Now we want to help it. So we're going to go to the temples and you're going to move it all the way down. Now you've got these lymph nodes here, right? We're all familiar with our lymph nodes. You've got about 600 lymph nodes throughout the body, but most of us are really familiar with them along the sides of our neck. You've gotten swollen glands. That's your lymphatic system. This is actually going to help your lymphatic system to help you fight off a lot of bacteria, viruses, molds, cancers even. So your lymphatic system is massive in its ability to help you fight off any illnesses. And that's why sometimes you'll feel a swollen gland, but you won't actually get sick. It's your body just doing its job. The other place that you may notice glands is down in through the armpits. Sometimes you get a swollen gland there. I know I've gotten them from using traditional deodorant, whole nother video. We'll talk about that later. So what we're doing here is we're clearing out the sinuses and then we're coming right here through the temples and then down through it, and we're just helping that mucus and the junk come all the way out of your head. Now what happens here is we're going to dump that into your lymphatic system. So again, we have lymph nodes all over the body. These are the ones I think we think of the most. But think of the lymphatic system as like the garbage disposal of your body. It cleans, it clears things up, it cleans out all of the waste, and then it puts the lymph back into your bloodstream so that it can go back and do the same thing, continue to fight for you. It's constantly fighting. But we get clogged, right? So if it gets clogged here, it's not going to drain into the lymphatic system. And so pulling that down, and then here's the key. Once you get it all out of your head, you want to come right here underneath your collarbone, right about where your shoulder, so right about where the shoulder comes in under the collarbone, and you're just going to press that. And you want to pump that, and you want to do that on both sides. And the reason for that is, again, you've got these two main channels that are like, again, the garbage disposal. They're the main areas that we're going to drain this down into, and then we want to pump that. So you're like turning the switch on to the garbage disposal, and that helps pump it and get it into the lymphatic system so that it can then clean itself up, recirculate, and help you out. But the problem is, and I've talked about this in other videos, is our shoulders get so tight and so tense that oftentimes it's putting a lot of extra stress on that area, and we can't get those arteries and the veins to actually do what we need to do. So we need to get the system flowing, and getting in here after you've cleared out and just giving them maybe 10 or 15 taps, again right under the collarbone, right where the shoulder meets the chest. Give that a few taps. You can come around in that area if you're not exactly sure, right? Within about a couple of inches, tap that on both sides, and that's going to help stimulate the garbage disposal, right? So you're actually turning on the switch to get that all drained out so your body can do what it needs to do. All right, so let's recap. We got headache, sinuses, sinus headache, wherever that's coming from a headache perspective. So we want to come into right here at where the brow meets the bridge of the nose, and then right here, the bridge of the nose meets the cheek, and then across the top of our head, just tapping gently back and forth. You'll notice those tender spots. Just make sure you hold them for an extra, couple of seconds, or you can tap them a couple more times. And then we come to the temple and start to pull that all the way down, just like that. And then we come across, we give it a few taps, come across here, give it a few taps, and that should start the process. Now, I'll actually do this on my clients when they come in, when I hear them really congested, or they'll ask me, they'll say, hey, can you do a sinus release on me? There is actually a chiropractic adjustment where I actually will release the sinuses here as well as up here with a very gentle chiropractic adjustment. Obviously, you guys can't do that part of it. That would be my job, but I'm giving you the other part, the post-therapeutic part. And so typically when I do that, I adjust the sinuses and then I do this exercise on them, show them how to do that at home. But they'll get up from the table and it's like a big old glump. I know it sounds gross, but think of how relieving that is when it just dumps out of your sinuses and it goes down into the throat, and we have now flushed the toilet, right? So we've gotten all that junk out of your head. So your head, you can think clearly, you can see clearly, right? Your eyes no longer feel like little raisins. The Sandman's not coming to get you anymore. All right, so I hope that was helpful. Great way to clear your sinuses. Please make sure if you watched this video and you liked it, make sure you're subscribing and go ahead and leave me a message. Go ahead and put something in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are and what you typically have issues with when it comes to clearing up your sinuses. And I hope this truly helps you to get those sinuses cleared from a more natural perspective rather than having to continually take Claritin and some other medications that maybe actually might increase your heart rate and have some other damaging side effects. So, all right, I hope that was helpful for you all, and I will look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thanks so much for being here.